admitted we were powerless over the effects of addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. What I'd like to say is everyone's addiction is not alcohol or drugs. This step goes for anyone that is suffering from any addiction, whether it be gambling, whether it be food, whether it be sex, whatever your addiction may be, and there are many. The program, a 12-step program, will work and change your life. Step 1 says, we admitted we were powerless over the effects of addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. Did you want me to read what was here? Mm-hmm. The idea presented in step 1 is overwhelming to most of us until we begin to accept the reality of our lives as they actually are. It is humiliating to admit that we are powerless and that our lives have become unmanageable. We have spent a major portion of our lives attempting to manage the behavior, thoughts, and feelings of others so that we could feel safe and secure. Some of us may strive for control by appearing weak and incapable, thereby manipulating others to perform for us. We may be obsessed with achieving a superior status in life, and we find it difficult to acknowledge that we could actually be powerless. We may be preoccupied with being the smartest or the fastest, or with having the best job. Whatever we do, no matter how hard we try to make it appear okay, some of our behavior puts our health and well-being at serious risk. Step 1 brings us to the threshold of identifying the causes of the obsessive and compulsive behavior that we cannot control. It says, list some examples here, and list examples of your attempts to manipulate the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of others. I guess I didn't have a chance to fill this sheet out, but in life, as I lived a life addicted to drugs and alcohol, first wine and beer, and then cocaine, and then I became a crack addict and just a wind-up. These things just took over my life. And in so doing, my life got to be all day, every day, having to get what I needed. I had to get the next one, whether it be the drink or the drug. And whatever I had to do to get it, which caused me to lie, cheat, steal, things that I was not raised to do. I was raised by my mom and my grandmother, and they gave me a good life. And still had me in church, and still those things in me that would have you on the straight and narrow. But by the time I turned 15, I took my first drink, and I changed immediately. One thing that I can talk about that happened is that I became promiscuous. So right then, I used sex from a young age to get what I needed from others. So those are a few of the things that I did to manipulate others to get the things that I needed, which was drinking drugs. As I was drinking and using cocaine early in my life. It says, describe some of the behaviors that are damaging to your health and well-being. Well, some of the things that I just mentioned, promiscuity is first on the list, because right away, it caused me to be at the clinic on a regular basis. I had so many STDs. Every one I ever heard of, I probably had. The people at the clinic knew me on a first name basis. Wow. Describe some of the behaviors that are damaging to your health. So having diseases and that kind of thing is kind of rough early on, and having to deal with that humiliation, being in the street, and having unprotected sex on a regular basis. I was raped and date raped each time. It was 5 times, and it was always date rape. So it's something that always made me feel like it was my fault. I put myself in dangerous situations because of addiction and alcoholism. And of course, these things were bad on my health. I was pregnant many times. I had several abortions. And it happened so early that it wasn't always in clinics. You know, it's like those back rooms and on top of dining room tables. Well, we talk about things that damaged my health and well-being. It did a lot to my mental state, having to live and go through those kinds of things. But most of all, I drank for a long time, and I really thought that I was okay. You know, I didn't really see that I had a problem for a very long time. It was a long time before I was able to admit that alcohol and drugs was my problem. I wound up in prison, and when I got out of jail, a family member came and got me, and we just immediately went back to doing the same things I always did. I had not grasped the fact that alcohol and drugs was really my problem. It caused me to lose jobs. I had poor relationships, you know, whether it be personal relationships, the relationship with my family got bad. I had been in church. I could no longer go to church. So I was in and out of church my whole adult life. But as a child, I was in church. It was no being out. My grandmother came to get me and mom every Sunday, and during the week there were rehearsals and meetings. So I was there on a regular basis. But until I admitted that I had a problem, which today I call surrender, until I surrendered to God everything that was a problem for me, I was not able to get better. And step one is admitting what is the root of the problem, admitting what the problem is, and then getting help and being able to get to the root of it. I think they say, I'm not sure, is it God won't heal what you won't reveal? You got to talk about it. You got to tell somebody. Amen. God works through people. Well, for many years, I tried to do it on my own. I went to treatment 3 times before it actually worked. I was given assessments, but each time I was given an assessment that said I needed to go to end treatment, I chose to take outpatient treatment because I was like jail to me. I didn't need that, especially after I'd already been in prison. I did not want to be locked up again. However, until I took the advice, so I've learned today that God places people in our path to help us. We can't do this thing alone. I'm wondering if I can read this last paragraph. Mm-hmm. We realize that in this life, we have the power to make choices about matters which affect us. In attempting to influence and manage the outcome of those choices, we may sometimes experience conflict. Prior to becoming aware of our problem, we sense that something is wrong and that life is unfulfilling in many ways. As a natural result, we desperately try to right the wrong by fixing things. No matter what we do or where we turn, we continue to suffer acute anxiety attacks over experience episodes of of bizarre and compulsive behavior. Oh my God, yes. When we finally are forced to look closely at ourselves and see that we have exhausted all other possibilities, we are ready for step one. At this point, we have no alternative but to admit that we are powerless and that our lives have become unmanageable. For the first time, we begin to alter the course of our lives and strive for healing. Amen. What I can say is, until I looked at my life and realized that it was down the tubes. You know, it never got better. It always got worse. And I had to stop trying to fix it myself and simply turn it over. There was something I read here. I wanted to make a statement, but talking to Reed, I'm simply gonna let it be known that we need help with this situation. And when we have problems, we need to go to someone, and we need to go to God, and we need to be open. I needed to be open to letting God help to change my life, or not help. He could do it if I would just let him. That was all I needed to do. Are we good? Read the. Okay.
Read together.
All right. This says, "Let it go."
Wait till they get through. Everybody got your let it go?
Yep. Share.
Well, read somebody else. Oh, Lord! Claudine's voice! The original woman of destiny!
Okay.
She don't have no paper. Hold on. Hold on. Read with them, honey. Let it go. Oh, my God. We got a real OG, as they say.
Why are they passing our souls and it's not time?
Right.
I don't understand that.
They're not passing.
They're not. They're unfolding.
No, they're not.
They're not passing out anything. Nobody's standing there.
I'm sitting here listening, looking.
She might. Okay, this is being taped. Hold on a moment. Where's the rest of my papers at? Anybody know? Is this? No. I got a whole stack somewhere. Okay, y'all read. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
All right.
We're being taped. Let it go.
Let it go.
If you are holding
On to something.
that doesn't belong to you, and it was never intended for your life, then you need to let it go. If you are holding on to past hurts and pains, let it go. If someone can't treat you right, love you back, and see your worth, let it go. If someone has angered you, let it go. If you are holding on to some thoughts of evil and revenge, let it go. If you are involved in a wrong relationship or addiction, let it go. If you are holding on to a job that no longer meets your needs or talents, let it go. If you have a bad attitude, let it go. If you keep judging others to make yourself feel better, let it go. If you're stuck in the past and God is trying to take you to a new level in Him, let it go. If you are struggling with the healing of a broken relationship, let it go. If you keep trying to help someone who only tries to help themselves, let it go. If you're feeling depressed and stressed, let it go. If there is a particular situation that you are so used to handling yourself, and God is saying, take your hands off of it, then you need to let it go.
Let the past be the past.
Forget the former things. God is doing a new thing. Let it go.
In 2017,
Get right or get left. Think about it.
Amen. I like that.
All right.
Your
I
next
promise myself.
Okay, read together.
Promise
Myself.
myself to be strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind.
To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person I meet. To make all my friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them. To look at the sunny side of everything
and make my optimism come true.
to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best.
To be as enthusiastic about my success of others
As I am about my own.
to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievement of the future.
To wear a cheerful expression at all times and give a smile to every living creature I meet.